Superlatives times. Chris, coming out of conference championship weekend, I'll give you the first crack.
Well, the doctor always said 2 rockets up your butt is good, but 3 is really what you want. And I'll go with the old Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that. But Tyreek Hill, again, yesterday. Yeah, the best receiver in the NFL. The number 1 weapon in the league. I don't care what you want to call him, receiver, weapon, whatever the hell it is. When the ball's in his hands, watch out. And I just think that's what jumps out to me more than anything. And we haven't hit on that aspect a whole lot. But Tyreek Hill, what he brings to the game, not only stretching the defense, but plays like we saw on the 71-yard reception. You mentioned it to start the show. It's a 4-yard throw over the middle. Then he turns on the afterburners and then turns on the other afterburner. And then that third one, right, that gives him the elite speed and runs all the way across the field and does all these special things. It's just for as awesome as we know Mahomes is, it's just the tandem of Hill and, of course, Kelsey are so special to go along with it. And it's really just the perfect tandem of guys to go with that type of quarterback. And Tyreek Hill, even though he's not the biggest and doesn't have the best hands in football, and is not a greatest route runner in football, man, I don't know. You still give me the first pick or 1 pick to take any receiver in the game, I think I'm going him first right now.
At the NFL level, you rarely see a player make other professional athletes look like the awkward kid on the schoolyard trying to catch the best athlete in the class, right? But that's what he did. Twisted guys around. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't know which way they were looking. They didn't know what to do. That's what that suddenness, the speed, the acceleration, everything he has, that's what that does to a defensive back. All right, I'm going to stay with that same game because Patrick Mahomes is the captain of the toe.
Captain of the toe?
I thought he had the captain of the toe. He had the toe injury. Whatever happened to his toe injury? They said before the game he had a shoe that was a half size larger. He had a pad in it. He seemed fine to me. He seemed like normal Patrick Mahomes. All that talk about the concussion, all that talk about the toe. Is he going to be the same guy? Is he going to be limping around? These were all legitimate points to make. There was a report yesterday morning that he wasn't 100% because of the toe, and maybe he didn't have that same explosion that we've seen from him in the past, but he's just still Patrick Mahomes. He's playing his game. He's doing his thing, and in the playoffs, it's a higher level. Toe injury or not, concussion or not, he's just incredible. And how many of these Super Bowls is he going to get to? We're talking about Tom Brady in 10. This guy's 25 years old, and he's on number 2. And even though the AFC has a lot of great teams, their ability to just find that switch whenever they need to against great teams, and not just win, but overpower them. Was there a point yesterday after the Chiefs took the lead 14-9, Chris, where you ever thought the Chiefs were going to lose the game?
No. I mean, I was really having a hard time thinking that when it was 9-0 Buffalo. I kept going, I don't think there's a chance unless maybe Kansas City makes another mistake here and fumbles the ball and then they go up some miraculously 17-0. But no, you're right. And once it went to 14-9, it just the way the game looked, you went, wait, one team looks faster, one team looks more physical, and they're the team that just won the Super Bowl, and they have Patrick Mahomes. So you just went, they're not. There's no way Buffalo's going to win. It never felt like it was a threat all game long.
By the way, you didn't get my reference. Captain of the Toe is a Seinfeld thing. Captain of the Toes, it's a Seinfeld bit, and then sometimes the second toe grows longer than the big toe, and it's a coup-de toe.
Right.
It's old. It's old.
I didn't remember that episode, but I figured it was some play on some old obscure movie or something that none of us have ever seen.
Well, first, it's an old, not obscure TV show that was thrust back into relevance over the weekend for reasons completely unrelated to Seinfeld. But go ahead.
Okay.
But he was directly involved in it.
Polish and confidence. That's my next one because that's what the old Tom Brady did for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's like, hey, we knew Bruce. Listen, we were at the Super Bowl last year. And remember Matt Ryan? All he talked about, we did an interview, all he talked about was how good the Bucs were. The Bucs, I don't know, that might have been the best defense we played last year. The Bucs. There was something missing from that team. Tom Brady came there, and it's like execution went up a little bit. He's gotten everybody on the same page, a little bit more adversity in the offense. And then he gave everybody in the organization confidence. It just doesn't matter what game it is. We got 12. We can win this game no matter what it is. He's clutch. He's Brady. And he did that to jumpstart that team yesterday. Oh, we're playing Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers up in Green Bay. They don't lose. Oh, don't worry. The first few third downs of the game, I'll just throw strikes, and we'll move the ball down the field. Loosen everybody up. Make us feel like we belong, and we can win this football game. And that's where Brady's amazing. I know I don't say he's the greatest of all time. He's the clutchest of all time. I've never seen anybody better under pressure in big moments, whatever it is. He doesn't blink, and he brought polish and confidence to that organization that they've never had, and that's why they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was the perfect spot for him, and it took a while to make it work, but they did. And that's my next one. This is I had a good name for it, and then I kind of got twisted up in my brain. Basically, don't complain about a late bye award, because this was the perfect year to have the latest possible bye. You'll hear teams say, oh, we got a bye week 12, week 10, week whatever. Oh, this year with no offseason program, with no preseason games, and you're putting this new group together with Tom Brady coming in to have a week 13 bye after Thanksgiving. That's how late it was. It was the week after Thanksgiving week that they had their bye. They were 7-5 going into their bye. They are 7-0 on the other side of their bye. And having that break when they had it, the opportunity to take a step back, to figure out what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, where they need to improve, what is coming for them. December football. That was the big critique that Bruce Arians had last year of Jameis Winston. The inability to step up in the month of December.
Right.
They were 7-7. It fell apart. He had all the interceptions. He'd been with other quarterbacks who stepped up in December. This team stepped up in December, and it stepped up even more in January. 3 straight road wins to get to the Super Bowl, which they will get to play at home.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Home Super Bowl. It's an amazing accomplishment for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, and to put this team together, I don't care how good it was or anything like that, with no, off-season OTAs, all of that, and they consistently got better to where, hey, again, we saw it during the year, right? There was many a times a year where we were like, man, when the Bucs are good, are they the best team in football? I mean, we said that a number of times. Then they'd have a game where you'd go, oh, that looked ugly. I don't know what they are quite yet. But we knew their potential was big time, and they finally have reached it. And it's amazing to see. It really is. I think my next one is going to go to the Forgotten Unit Award. And that's the Chiefs secondary. Another part of that team that sometimes goes under the radar, gets swept under the radar big time.
Yes.
Because of all the superstars there. But yesterday, you see Josh Allen and that offense. We heard Chris Jones in a clip last week say, they remind me of our team a few years ago. They can score on anybody. Well, the Chiefs defense just continues to rise to challenges, always. Oh, last week it's stopping the two-headed monster running game, no problem. This week it's stopping, one of the most explosive right arms and best receiver combos in football with Diggs and all that. They're on them like glue all game long, and playing man-to-man. I mean, how many times did Romo and Nance show clips last night of, Josh Allen scrambling, and the play's been going on for 5 seconds, and nobody's still open. Nobody. So that Chiefs secondary has continued to get better. When you talk about Bree Lynch, Javarius Ward, L'Jarius Sneed, Rashawn Fenton, Thornhill, Matthew, Sorensen, man, they got a lot of good versatility there and a lot of good players. A lot of credit to that unit that sometimes doesn't get the credit it deserves.
Yeah, when you're on a team with Patrick Mahomes and that offense, it's very easy for the defense to be overlooked. But they had to do their part. Otherwise, it was going to be a shootout. And they put the clamps on Buffalo after the 9-0 start. They scored some points later once it was just over at that point. But great, balanced team, and they're going to be very difficult to beat in Tampa Bay. Last one for me, the 268 for 268 award, because I can't believe here we are the day after the conference championships have ended. All 256 regular season games played in the 17 weeks. They had to do a little surgery to move some games around, but they got 256 in as they were supposed to. All postseason games have gone off without a hitch, other than the Browns-Steelers game. But the Browns won that game without their head coach on the sideline. So the pandemic has not. It's amazing to me when you consider how bad it is, the number of deaths right now, the stories that we see about the communities that are still ravaged by it. How in the hell did the NFL pull this off? I think a lot of luck was involved, but also their ability to pivot, to be flexible, and to have that attitude that we know people are going to get it, but we're just going to have protocols in place to keep it from spreading once they get it and they're tested positive, and there's still donut holes and windows and opportunities for it to spread. They did a great job of keeping it from spreading, and now they got one more game. And the problem is they got 2 weeks. I'd just want to play this game. I'd want to play this game tonight if I was the NFL, but I'm sure they would love to just play it coming up this Sunday, because who knows what's going to happen over the course of the next 2 weeks.
Do you think it's like an advantage or disadvantage for Tampa to be there at the? Is it like a distraction at all for you? You know, in your mind when you think about them being at the Super Bowl site for the next 2 weeks, and the other team?
No, because there's nothing going to happen.
I guess
nothing's going to happen. It's not a Super Bowl site.
No,
Yep.
I know.
And
I guess people will be starting to go in, and you'll start to see the pageantry of it all, and it's not the same.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Right.
I think that I'm sure we will still see images of people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, like gathering in large crowds. But a lot of the traditional Super Bowl stuff, I'd say most of it, if not all of it, is just not going to be part of this. And the Chiefs are going to stay in Kansas City. We reported this last month. The teams from out of the city are going to treat it like a normal road game to Tampa. Now, I think they'll let them come no earlier than Friday to Tampa. But, yeah, the Bucs, they'll be staying at home all week. They're keeping them in their normal routine at their facility, go home, no hotel stays, and they're just going to trust that what they've done all season long is going to work. And look, if you, regardless of how seriously or not a team took the protocols throughout the regular season, now is the time when you're down to 2 teams where it's on everyone, all the team leaders. Do you think Tom Brady's not going to wear out everyone on that roster to make sure they go straight home into a room, seal the door, and stay there until the time comes to go to work the next morning?
Yeah, I would think everybody is. There's comments made after the game to be extra careful, do all that. You're right. I mean, there's Super Bowl trophy, rings, legacies. They're all on the line here for both of these teams. And I think both of these teams are the type of teams that realize it, want it, understand their own legacies around it and all that too. So I don't expect to hear anything bad, at least knock on wood. I hope not.
When the Buccaneers had their late bye, that was one of the first things Bruce Arians expressed concern about, that bye week creating opportunities for guys to get infected. So they've been there not that long ago, and they just slip back into that mode and hope that it all works out. And, every team's been stung by it at one point or another except the Seahawks, I believe. But they got every reason to button it up over the course of the next 13 days.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.